everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld. So you read that title right, okay? Not all Madden 19 Ultimate Team players will come with the chemistry, okay? So what that means is EA is telling us that we're going to have a lot more freedom to do things that we want to do. We're not going to have to deal with, okay, this guy came with this chem, I got to deal with this chem. If you're one of those individuals that like to build like your own situation with, as far as like a team having the same chemistry, like you want an all Pittsburgh Steelers team. Let's just use that because Antonio Brown is the cover of Madden 19. And you're like, you know what? I want to have this guy with this chemistry. I want to have this guy, in addition to the team chemistry, you want him to have, let's say, toughness. Because we don't know exactly what all the chemistries are going to be yet. So regardless of what they are, we'll go with that. We'll go over them once they're released. But the good news is you're going to be able to put chemistry on the players that you want outside of their team chemistry, because this is the thing that you have to know. All right, let's say for instance, right? Let's go to like the movers real quick, right? And just to give an example, teams that have moved, like let's say the Grandmaster. This is one thing that EA has told us. Because Sherman has played for both the Seahawks and the 49ers, you're going to be able to equip him with either one of those team chemistries. Okay, so Tyrann Mathieu, wherever he is now, you'll be able to do the Cardinals and wherever he is now. Like, I don't even care about where he's at. I know he's someplace. Is he over here, though? Let me just make sure. Is he? Yeah, there he goes. All right, so he's with the Texans now. Oh, maybe I should care about that. Because if Deshaun Watson is playing pretty well, that's going to be a nightmare in that division. But we'll talk about that later. So let's go, for instance, you get a Tyrann Mathieu, right? We're going to use this for an example. This is the way EA explains it in the blog. If you get a base Tyrann Mathieu, right, you're going to be able to upgrade him to a certain point using training points. Now, if you don't understand how training points are used, simply go to the playlist that this video is in, and it's already written out. Bro, the video is made, it's ready to go. Listen to how it's going to work so you can have a head start on understanding what training points are going to be, and you'll be all set and ready to go. But you're going to be able to update this card. Like, we're just going straight like a base gold, whatever he is. You'll be able to upgrade him to a certain point, okay? After you get to a certain level of the upgrade, you're going to need his core elite, which is the general base elite that you get that I've gone over in several other videos. If you want to see what core elites are, they're usually like 88s, 89s. Like Tom Brady's, for example, was a 90 or something like that. Regular core elite. Aaron Rodgers was an 89. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example of it. Let's see what comes up. So I'll give you the core elite. Okay, this guy, I believe this is the core elite. Okay, so this is a Melvin Ingram core elite, but I want to use somebody else that, I think David Johnson had upgrades too, but I want to use somebody that, more gets us a little bit excited. That guy doesn't get me excited at all. Let me go to, where's the Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Those are the only two. You know what, let me make it easy because I see a Geno Smith there and I just went into a rage. All right, let me just go over here and we'll do that. So we'll get the 88 to 89. Aaron Rodgers should be someplace over here. I don't know where he's at. We're not going to do Andrew Luck because the dude gets more cards than anybody else and been injured an entire season. All right, so look, we'll look at this, right? So at some point with that Tyrann Mathieu card, you're going to need his core elite. So we're just saying Aaron Rodgers will be Tyrann Mathieu for this situation, right? So you'll use training points to get him up to whatever overall it can get to before you add the core elite card to get to the next level of his upgrade. In doing that, you're going to open up chemistry slots. So whatever the new chemistries are that they're putting out, some of them will be similar, some of them will be brand new. You're going to open that slot and be able to choose what chemistry you want. Keep in mind that you can't, at this point, with all the stuff that I've read in the blog, you can't switch to team chemistry. You're only going to get the chemistry for the teams that player has played on. But you can get other chemistries that apply to that player. But no one player can have every chemistry. And that makes sense. For instance, right? Let's say Le'Veon Bell. All right? We're going to use Le'Veon Bell for an example. He's supposed to be a guy that can catch the ball outside. He can line up as a wide receiver. He'll be eligible for Go Deep Chem. But a running back that's not really that type of a player won't be eligible for Go Deep Chem. You see what I'm saying? It has to be certain things that correlate to what that player is. So that's also a huge plus, and it shows that EA has been listening to some of the feedback. Because most of us, like myself, was like, yo, how does this guy get that chem? How does this guy get that chem? Why does this guy get that chem? Now we don't have to deal with that. All that's going to come, you see that little G right there? That's the team chemistry. You're going to get one version of that. So let's use Aaron Rodgers now. Okay, Tyrann Mathieu, I explained to you what's going on with that. As far as at a point, once you start upgrading him, you're going to be able to, you're going to have to get his core elite to keep the upgrade going. All right, let's look at Aaron Rodgers right now because this is the way that his team his team logo is Green Bay Packers, and he hasn't played for another team. So Tyrann Mathieu was an example of a player that's played for at least 2 teams. Same thing with Richard Sherman. So they can swap chemistries. If you're making an all Seattle Seahawks team, you can use the chemistry for Richard Sherman as a Seahawk to make your all Seahawks team. Okay? You won't be able to do that with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will not be able to have a Seahawk chemistry or any other chemistry other than the Green Bay Packers, because that's the only team he's ever played for. So that's something that you guys have to keep in mind for a lot of you guys that do a lot of team building. Team chemistry, as of where we are right now, is off limits. Okay? If the player has never played for that team, you cannot equip him with that. Now, every other chemistry you could give to Aaron Rodgers. But let's just go ahead and say, for instance, that you pull an Aaron Rodgers and he's a core elite, and you're like, Gmias, should I power him up? I would tell you why not. Because if you don't like the way he's performing afterwards, guess what you can do? Downgrade him, sell him, get a percentage of your training points back, get your core elite back, put it back on the auction house, and it's voila, he's done. Okay, so that's huge that you're able to do that, because it gives you the freedom and the flexibility of not having to worry about what we went through this year with power-ups. Okay, so what would be a logical chemistry for Aaron Rodgers? The only thing I could think about is go deep, because go deep, you know, it applies very well to his accuracy and stuff like that you're gonna want to need, or you're gonna want to have in your lineup when you go into it. And keep in mind that they're gonna have I think it's like 25 players, so even the backups apply to the chemistry. So it's gonna be a little bit more involved and more in depth in being able to get your chemistry levels up to where you're gonna want them for certain solos or whatever you're gonna want, and to get them to that max. So at this point, if you were to ask me, do I think it's overkill? I think a little bit yes, because we go from the way our lineups are now. Okay, let me just give you guys an example. We go from the way our lineups are now, where the chemistry counts for, twice for certain positions, like the tight end, right? Both these guys count with the chemistry, okay? Halfbacks don't, because you can see my guys crossed out there. That'll change. The quarterbacks don't. You'll see that. Supposedly that'll change as well. And after the third wide receiver, it changes. Like nothing counts, all right? So if you don't already have the chemistry over here, it won't apply to any of the other cards. Always remember, if the starter has the chemistry, if you have a secondary player, even though the line is still through, it still applies to him as well. So because I have Grunk, and Grunk has that battle ready, which is the B. Where's the B at? Let's find the B. I think it was at the top. The battle ready. Right there. So because he has the battle ready, you can see it's 3 of 1, right? But this dude, LeGarrette Blount, is a backup, but he still has the battle ready chem because it's activated for the team. Because a starter that applies to the chemistry, it works for everyone that has that actual chem, even if they're not starting. Obviously, like I'm telling you now, all those slots are going to be able to go towards filling the actual chemistry of what you're going to want. So that's going to be huge. It's going to be a good and a bad thing, because if you want to get certain things, you're going to have to put more time into it. You're going to have to make sure that certain guys are, where they're supposed to be. The thing that bothers me, though, is how it affects the overall. I don't really care about the chemistry. If they leave it the same way it is now, and certain players affect the overall, and then all of them affect the chemistry, that's fine. But I'm not going to be going out trying to get 7 99s at backup positions to get a 99 overall team. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so just so you understand that. And additionally, with the middle linebacker, both of these guys apply with the chemistries, but like they said, all of them will apply to chemistry. We just have to see how it goes to the overall. And then obviously the third cornerback counts, and then the kicker and the punter for the first year starting in Madden 18, they counted. Okay? So when you're thinking about the chemistries that you're going to add to these players, you want to be very, very smart with what you do. And I'm going to go back into the lineup just to explain to you. Like, for instance, Lamar Jackson, right? He has go deep and he has toughness. I'm going to go to my item sets to make you guys see like a bigger version of it, so that way everybody sees exactly what I'm talking about, because when you click on it inside the lineup, it's not really big enough. So I'm going to go here so it takes up the whole screen. All right, so Lamar Jackson, right? We all know that he's going to be probably one of the fastest quarterbacks to come into the league since they're saying Michael Vick, right? We have yet to see, because a lot of people are saying that, my man Joe Flacco's garbage. When I say my man, he's literally not my man. I'm just happy that he was able to get his contract extension and get his money, because I'm all for players getting their money, because the owners do whatever they want. But will he be starting throughout the entirety of the year? We don't know. So let's say, for instance, right, you get a Lamar Jackson and you want to upgrade him. Okay? Now, looking at his stats right now as a golden ticket, this looks beautiful. This is going to be nowhere near what he is at the start of Madden 19. So what would you add to him? Would you add things to him that make him a better runner? Would you add things to him that makes him a better passer as far as chemistries? These are the things that you're going to have to figure out. Because once you start doing it, you know what I'm saying, you can go back and downgrade it and do it over, but why do that? You got to understand what makes that player, you know, tick. So, truth be told, his accuracy wasn't all that in college, right? So, for me, I would want to make sure that his accuracy is good because he's already coming with speed. So, I would give him, when I unlocked his chemistry slot, I would probably give him some of that go deep chem. Increase his deep throw, increase his throw deep accuracy. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on. You know, the throw power, play action, all these things. I would try to make him a better passer because he already has the run chems. All right? You might want, like, say you're like a Michael Vick fan and you're just like, look, I want to bring back the Michael Vick. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Maybe give him things that, you know, encourage his carrying and stuff like that. Like toughness actually does. So he has a dual chem right here, which you'll be able to build up yourself using training points that I spoke about earlier and core elites to unlock new chemistry slots. So this is a perfect example of what you would try to do with a card like Lamar Jackson to make him be what you want him to be. Because you would want him to be more accurate. You already got the speed, so that's what you would be looking for. More accuracy, okay, and making him a much better clutch passer and just utilizing his speed and however you can utilize it to make him a better player overall for you. That would be pretty much what you would need to do for Lamar Jackson as an example. For Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't be more focused on the speed. I would just make his accuracy, his deep throw, and everything else just more. Just make it overall like a better number. That's how you're going to have to make this work when you make your own chemistry. So for the people that are asking about that situation with the chemistries and how it's going to work, that's primarily how it's going to be. You're going to have to build up your cards yourself. So everything that comes won't have a chemistry. It'll be, other than the team chemistry that's already set with it, you can't worry about anything else other than the chemistries that you want to add to the card. So you can't blame EA for giving, you know, Anthony Barr something stupid. Like with the blanket coverage, that didn't really work for me. So if I was playing it like, you know, what I'm doing now, I would give him toughness just to add more speed to him. You see what I'm saying? If I was going to use Anthony Barr right now, that would be the chem for Madden 18 that I would add. You know what I'm saying? Just going backwards and just showing you what I would do. Because the toughness will give him 98 speed now. I'll get the other +1 speed. So you got to make it work for you. You got to figure out what's going to be the best chems for you and how you're going to be able to utilize it to make the best of that card. All right? So remember, we start with 0 chems other than the team, and we have to add what we want through training points, which you can find right in the playlist that this video is in. Hopefully this has been informative. If you have any other questions, you know what to do. Tweet me, leave it in the comment section. If it's something that I feel that will reflect other people's thoughts, I will answer your question. Other than that, you guys are doing very, very well answering each other's questions in the comment section, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day. One love.